In the Bering Sea, there is a kind of fish that supports fishermen around the world. That is the Alaska pollock. Catching this fish requires a ship as huge as a floating factory. For example, the Alaska Ocean, its fishing net is over 800 meters long and can catch up to 100 tons of fish at a time. Yeah, that was a good haul. Stuffed up and we got some on deck, it's good. Below the deck, an advanced onboard factory processes 750 fish per minute. It operates around the clock. If you walk into a McDonald's, there's a very good chance that the filet-o-fish came from this vessel. During the short fishing season, time is tight, and the captain and his crew must keep all these high-tech systems running continuously to meet their 22,000-ton catch quota. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. The ocean stretches for thousands of square miles, while the net is relatively small. Can they complete the mission, or will they be defeated by the most dangerous seas on Earth? Today we step aboard the Alaska Ocean to see how it hunts in the Bering Sea for this fish that everyone loves to eat, but few people know about. How much do these hard-working fishermen actually earn each month? And why is working on a fishing vessel considered one of the toughest jobs in the world? The Bering Sea lies west of Alaska, east of Siberia. Beneath its waters, the flat Bering continental shelf drops sharply, thousands of feet, into the cold Aleutian Basin. This geography creates one of the richest fishing grounds in the world. To the south, in the Aleutian Islands, lies Dutch Harbor, America's #1 fishing port. The pride of the Dutch Harbor Fleet is the Alaska Ocean. This vessel is half fishing boat, half floating factory. It processes and freezes Alaska pollock at lightning speed. The 130 crew members aboard the Alaska Ocean entrust both their livelihood and lives to Captain Scott Simmons. I've been on board the Alaska Ocean for 17 years. I've been a fisherman my whole adult life. I actually started when I was in high school, going salmon fishing in the summertime. I've been the captain on board now since 1998. Prior to that, I was a mate, and I was the first deck boss on the boat. The captain's duty is first and foremost to operate the vessel safely. Secondly, to find the fish. If he can't find fish, he fails both his crew and his company. There's no other way. At 3:30 a.m. one morning in August, the crew prepares to set sail for the fishing grounds. It's the final voyage of a grueling 4-month summer fishing season. Captain Scott has charted a course 800 kilometers north of the Bering Sea, a place known for the world's harshest weather and sea conditions. When cold Arctic winds collide with warm air flowing south, storms are born. Despite this, the Bering Sea's continental shelf hides deep canyons, but much of the area remains a shallow basin, allowing the wind to whip up chaotic waves that batter ships from all directions. The Bering Sea's weather is unpredictable. It can produce hurricane-force winds and waves as high as 5 stories. Even large vessels can be swallowed whole. But the 130 crew aboard the Alaska Ocean aren't worried at all. They know well they're aboard one of the strongest and safest fishing vessels in the world. It's longer than a football field, 6 stories high, and powered by a 6,250 horsepower engine. 99 0小时03分08秒000大于0小时03分09秒933. Driving the vessel through the huge waves is a 4.1 meter diameter propeller that gives it a top speed of 14 knots. The hull is reinforced with thick steel, strong enough to withstand the fiercest Arctic storms. On both sides of the deck are lifeboats. The fishing nets are lifted and stored here. Overlooking everything is the wheelhouse, the nerve center of the vessel. All operations are monitored from here. To locate fish schools, Captain Scott relies on the latest and most advanced sonar and tracking equipment. These are connected to GPS and global positioning chart plotters, which display the seabed's contour lines, essentially the underwater terrain profile. The ship is now positioned above the Jemshug Canyon on the seafloor, which plunges from 180 meters to 2,600 meters deep. It is the largest underwater canyon in the world, even bigger than the Grand Canyon on land. But the captain doesn't want to cast the nets here. Fish schools are constantly moving, swimming to shallower areas to feed, or diving deeper along the edges in search of food. Countless fishing vessels have wrecked here. Since 1741, when Russian fur traders first came to the Bering Sea in search of sea otter pelts, these dangerous Alaskan waters have swallowed more than 2,500 ships, 19th century whaling ships, Japanese World War II submarines, and numerous modern crab boats, all rest on the Bering Sea floor. Captain Scott usually decides to cast nets based on fish traces. Sonar devices mounted on the hull emit sound waves that bounce off the seafloor and return to the receiver. Fish schools also reflect these sonar waves. The air in their bodies slows the sound waves, making them visible on the sonar display. Although these waters are dangerous, the fish signals on the screen are very clear. So, Scott unexpectedly gives the order to cast the nets. Clearly, he doesn't want to miss a big haul. The 800-meter-long trawl and its gear are worth more than $500,000. If the captain makes a mistake, it could mean a loss of hundreds of thousands of dollars. On the trawl deck, the crew prepares to deploy the nets. They lower the trawl doors to about 9 meters deep. Then, the massive Alaska Ocean trawler tows the net at a speed of 3 knots. The water flow drags the net behind the ship, forming a huge cone shape. Water passing through the trawl doors keeps the mouth open, while the weights pull it downward. The third line is an electronic cable that supports the top of the net. It carries signals from onboard sensors. The crew calls this sonar transmitter the briefcase. The sensors send out sound pulses, which bounce back from the mouth of the net, capturing its shape and the fish entering it. From the bridge, Scott closely monitors the sensor readings. Since the vessel costs around $80,000 a day to operate, Scott cannot afford to waste any time. After 15 minutes, the catch indicator turns from yellow to red on the first line, indicating about 30 tons of fish in the net. After 30 minutes, it's time to haul it in. Everyone waits nervously for the final moment. Soon, a discarded chain is revealed, tangled in the net. Fortunately, it didn't affect the catch. When the trawl net is positioned over the hatch, the crew releases the drawstring and all the fish pour into the hold. This is the first haul of the voyage, and it's going smoothly. Captain Scott decides to continue fishing in the dangerous Jimchu Canyon. Clearly, the risk paid off. Now, 50 tons of pollock lie on deck, a great start to the trip. Alaska pollock, also known as walleye pollock, is named for its prominent, large eyes. They belong to the cod family and thrive along the seafloor of the North Pacific. Tiny, shrimp-like creatures make up their main diet. Although pollock can live up to 15 years, few ever reach that age. 204 0小时06分56秒000大于0小时06分57秒133 Big pollock eat small pollock, while seals and other large fish also feed on fresh pollock. Only less than 2% of juvenile fish survive to their 4th year. Yet Alaska pollock remains one of the most abundant fish species on Earth. So even with giant trawlers constantly fishing day and night, they can never catch them all. These fish have incredible reproductive power. The crew of the Alaska Ocean works day and night, 7 days a week. It's very hard to be out here. I tell the new people, the mental part out here is the toughest. The physical part you can get used to, but mentally adjusting to all the hours, being away from home, and constantly working. Out here, time isn't cyclical. There are no weekends. Time here is linear, just one endless gray line. Although the work is hard and monotonous, money is the only thing that keeps morale up. A deckhand fresh out of high school on their first voyage can earn over $1,500 a week. And since there's nothing to spend money on aboard, a beginner can end up earning more than $6,000 a month. That's already the average salary of a U.S. middle-class worker. Other positions can even reach $10,000 per month or more. To keep morale high, the ship offers laundry, cleaning services, and non-stop meals. We work 24 hours a day, and there are 4 meals daily: lunch, dinner, a midnight meal, and breakfast. I don't eat like this at home. Please, stay away from the pollock. No pollock. Try to stay away from the pollock. I really don't eat much fish anymore. After being here 12 years, after 4 days at sea, the situation worsens. A storm hits. Winds reach 50 kilometers per hour, and waves grow fierce. On Zooch days, it's nearly impossible to see fish signals on sonar. Despite the bad weather, the Alaska Ocean still manages to haul in 150 tons of pollock each day. In the blink of an eye, it's the 6th day of the voyage. The weather clears up. The Alaska Ocean has traveled 724 kilometers northwest of Dutch Harbor, east of Pribilof Canyon. This flat seabed holds dense schools of fish. They work around the clock to catch massive hauls. Below deck, the factory is almost as large as a land-based plant. It processes 750 fish per minute, turning fresh pollock into frozen packaged products. By processing fish on board, the Alaska Ocean can spend more time fishing at sea, reducing the need to transport catches to shore factories. The ship has 3 fish holds, each capable of storing 100 tons, roughly the weight of an adult blue whale. The factory can empty a full hold in just 5 hours, while the crew works 15-hour shifts. Of the 130 crew members, 100 work inside the ship's onboard factory, but working here is extremely dangerous. There are 112 conveyor belts just in the feeding area. One wrong move and you could get pulled in. And there are sharp fish-cutting blades everywhere. If you lose a finger here, there's no quick way to reach shore and have it reattached. So, in most cases, losing a finger means it's gone forever. The most dangerous and exhausting job in the world is working aboard a trawler. The onboard factory operates non-stop, 24 hours a day. The pollock are automatically sorted by size. Smaller ones fall between the rollers. 301 0小时10分19秒 266大于0小时10分21秒 466 falling through widening gaps. Each conveyor belt leads to a different cutting machine. The hardest job in the factory is undoubtedly the driver. They're falling onto this conveyor in front of him. He's driving the fish into the machine, making sure all the fish are facing the same way, so we don't get any miscuts. I personally could not drive. I've tried it, I can't do it. After 15 minutes, my back is just killing me. It takes a long time to become a good driver, to get over the pain of standing there for 15 hours. The driver aligns the fish carefully so the machine can remove the heads and guts. This machine can decapitate 150 pollock per minute. Then the gutting machine pushes out the entrails, sending the fish to the filleting stage. First, 2 sharp blades slice open the belly, then another pair cuts the meat away from the ribs. A third set removes the ribs, and a fourth cuts out the spine. The final blades trim the edges, producing 2 clean fillets. To match the pace of the catch on deck, multiple filleting machines work simultaneously, processing 45,000 fish per hour. This is the candlelight inspection table. Light shines up through the conveyor belt so that workers can spot any defects in the fillets, such as parasites, bones, or bits of skin. After being vied, the fillets are packed into trays for freezing. Smaller fillets are minced to make fish paste. After passing through this food press, its texture becomes rubbery like putty. This fish paste is the main ingredient for imitation crab sticks. But the real delicacy is the pollock roe. The viscera are sent to the separation line, where the roe is carefully removed. Pollock roe is the most valuable part of the fish, selling for up to $60 per pound in Japan. revenue from fillets, and fish paste only covers operating costs. It's the roe that brings in real profit. On the Alaska Ocean, almost nothing goes to waste. Discarded heads and guts go to the fish meal plant on the lower deck, where the stench of fish innards fills the air. They're processed into fish meal, used as fertilizer, and as fish feed. Every day, 12,000 gallons of fish oil are extracted and mixed with fuel oil to power the boiler that heats the dryers. The same boiler's steam is used by the desalination system to produce fresh water from thousands of gallons of seawater. Everything works together seamlessly. Nothing is wasted. To maintain safety and efficiency, the ship conducts regular emergency drills, including fire and man overboard exercises. Fire drills and rescue drills are routine. Soon it's the 15th day of this fishing voyage. The factory slows almost to a stop. There are no fish. Captain Scott feels the pressure mounting. If they can't find a new school soon, the final stage of this trip could become long and costly for the Alaska Ocean. They're now far from the harbor, at the northernmost point of their journey, 845 kilometers from Dutch Harbor and just 76 kilometers from Russian waters. Here, the Bering Sea floor is flat and shallow, between 90 and 150 meters deep, perfect for trawling. The Alaska Ocean still needs over 1,000 tons of pollock before the crew can go home. Captain Scott takes two bold steps to turn his luck around. First, he charts a course 100 kilometers due south. 401 0小时13分52秒100大于0小时13分55秒133 He believes the fishing might be better there. Second, he shaves off his beard. Whenever the catch turns bad, he shaves the beard he's been growing for months. It's a small superstition, shared by many fishermen. At this northernmost fishing ground, they soon cast their first net. After 3 long hours in the water, it's finally time to haul it up. This time, the gloom of past days is gone. They pull up more than 100 tons of pollock. Shaving the beard off might have worked a bit of luck. A little superstitious, but yeah, we've had a much better day today. Better fish size, better fishing. Feeling pretty happy right now. Maybe the beard was holding us back yesterday, so I think he did a good thing. I'm hoping to keep going a few more days, or head home soon. So why is working on a fishing vessel considered one of the hardest jobs in the world? The Alaska Ocean's nets fill rapidly. Hundreds of tons of fish pour below deck. The factory runs at full speed, but workers still must ensure quality, because one of the ship's biggest buyers is McDonald's. This year, they'll purchase thousands of tons of Alaska pollock fillets. At full operation, the factory sends 5 tons of processed fish per hour down conveyors into plate freezers, cooling them to negative 25 degrees Celsius. In just 2 hours, the product becomes solid blocks of frozen fish. To keep up with the pace, workers move at a frantic speed, pulling trays out non-stop. They lift over 100,000 pounds a day. It's grueling. Your back, your hands, everything aches. The body never gets time to rest. After 4 months and 5 voyages, the crew of the Alaska Ocean is running on pure exhaustion. There's one lady down there, nearly 60, doing 15-hour days, 105 hours a week. That's 2 full-time jobs and a part-time one. And people complain when they work 1 extra day on land. We're burnt out for sure, at the end of our rope, so to speak. Now, the Alaska Ocean needs less than 1,000 tons and 8 more successful hauls to finish the season's quota. Exhausted, crew members push on. With sheer willpower and caffeine, I think everything would fall apart. If there were no coffee on this boat, the ship practically runs on coffee. But even caffeine can't ease the exhaustion of packaging 120 tons of product every day. After the fillets are boxed, they're sent through a printer that stamps each package with the product name, date, time, and weight. This allows customers to trace exactly which haul and which day the fish came from. Packed products are stored in the cargo hold, which can hold about 2,300 tons. The temperature there is negative 30 degrees Celsius. Stackers work 12-hour shifts, bundled head to toe, to fight the freezing cold, constantly moving, as each handles 60 to 70 pallets a day. Soon, it's midnight on the 19th day of the voyage. The Alaska Ocean casts its final net. They're only 100 tons away from their goal. When the last net comes up full, everyone feels hope rise at last. They can finally head home. It's a 2-day journey back to port. The crew's spirits soar. But once docked, there's still one final task, perhaps the hardest of all: unloading 2,500 tons of product in under 36 hours. No one can leave until the job is done. The fish will be shipped worldwide, and the hard-working crew will finally get some rest, enjoying long-awaited vacations. 4 months later, the ship will return to the Bering Sea, beginning the grueling winter pollock season. Most of the fishermen aboard the Alaska Ocean will come back once again.
开始艰苦的冬季峡穴捕捞季，阿拉斯加海洋号上的大多数渔民都会再次回来。